It's Jimmy's podcast, season
11.
on the podcast. We coming back for more. I bet you never thought we'd last, and neither did we.
Well,
Breaking news, show reviews, rubber boots reacts, and other social media crap. And if nothing else, you know you're gonna have a laugh. You're gonna have a laugh. Oh yeah, this is the podcast.
Our hearts are heavy today, the Rubber Boots podcast, as we've lost a dear member of our crew. Puffy is unavailable today.
porn addiction is real, people.
It really is. But we hope he'll be out soon and get the help he needs and
Absolutely.
be back. Puffy, we look, it's my fault. First of all, we missed last week. The playoffs are tough. Look, and I know the Rubber Boots podcast listeners. Oh, look it. Got a sticky thing stuck to my arm. They really do work. Sticky tabs work. It's difficult in the playoffs to find actual time to tape the podcast. And seeing that our sponsor list continues to hang around, what's the number now? Oh, 0. There's no reason. You know, the other podcasts, sometimes they'll put out crappy podcasts just to please their sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
We won't do that.
No. We used to.
We used to do that quite a lot.
Yeah.
See season, I don't know, 4 to 7, maybe.
Yeah.
But no longer will we do that. So when we're too busy, we don't want to waste your time. And we have no time. So here we are. We squeezed this one in. I literally said last night, do you guys have any time between 3 and 4 on Thursday? And look, at 3 of us showed up. And the other guy is just not as committed. Let me ask you this stuff. Did he tape the at the arena podcast?
So no, he did not. We taped our last
the
last
season has wrapped
last week. However, we did have a guest we were supposed to book with, but that guest canceled on us. We were supposed to do it last night. That guest is none other than Tanya, Puffy's wife. So
What? He couldn't make it happen?
well, I guess that was kind of
wait a second.
a disappointing part. Is
he
got
promised
bumped.
his wife to be on the pod, and she bailed on him.
Yeah, I think it was more like she promised us to be on the pod because she is one of our more sought after guests, being a coach in the GTHL and
Right. Very successful.
At that. Yeah,
True.
And let's face
and
it,
she just didn't have the time, I guess. So it is
by far the most talented member of that family in the adult category. I don't want to rip Austin and Barrett.
Yeah, not exactly a photo finish.
Guys, I have breaking news with the help of our listeners last week, which might come in listener mail. So I'm sorry if I'm preempting that again. But when we last left you here on the Rubber Boots pod, there was a terrifying noise keeping me up at night. Is that correct?
Yes.
Remember that, Lester?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did you have a guess on what that was?
I thought it was just a coyote or something.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It was
Serial killer.
It was a fox.
Ooh.
So if you remember I played the noise. Did I play the noise on the podcast? Right?
No, I inserted it after though, and we also posted it online. Yeah, you sent us some footage that looked like it was shot in, I don't know,
I'm trying
sometime
to
BC.
Like Blair Witch Project type of footage.
That's right. So Brooksy had done some research. Brooksy Googled, tried to Google the noise using the Google machine and came up with this.
That's it.
No, sorry. When you say she Googled the noise, she uploaded the audio of it?
No, probably
or
not.
she just
I think she
typed it in, describing it.
I think she just had a feeling what the animal was, and that is a red fox.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So she
a
wrote
red fox.
Okay.
Red Fox. Elizabeth.
Red fox. You're lucky they were. It wasn't.
I'm coming to join you, Elizabeth. Grady.
Grady. Lamont, you big dummy.
You big dummy. We're really aging ourselves now. Listen, all listeners under the age of, say, what, 40, Lester?
Probably.
Sanford and Son was one of the funniest shows of all time. And I wish it would run. Does it run on any of the old
I don't think so. I don't
Is
think
it?
so.
Do you think the comedy is, like for the times too much?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, you don't see Archie Bunker on TV anymore. I don't think it runs anywhere. And that again, and that's a show. If you think about Norman Lear and all of that writing, I mean that show in particular, they talked about all this stuff, racism and the anti-war and all this. They do some heavy shows, and they just don't want to do that anymore. They don't show the shows on air anymore, unfortunately.
Jerry Seinfeld had a really good rant the other day about comedy,
about
how it's, and he's right.
He is right.
There's a little bit of that coming back. Who was the guy who hosted SNL a couple of weeks ago? Puffy knows his name. I can't remember. So anyway, was a Red Fox. And the Red Fox, after about 4 or 5 nights of the screeching, he either found his mate, because I think it was a Red Fox searching for a mate, or he died.
Wow. He died from horniness. Is that the deal?
Tough back there in the Aurora Woods. Yes. So brings me to the next point. Literally the night after the fox stopped screeching. And I thought, finally a good night's sleep. At 5:05 a.m., I get a new sound. Now, a little bit of a backstory. I've just installed a security system at the home. I always feel very safe up here, but there have been some break-ins a few streets over, and with the kids kind of starting to move out, I kind of worry about Brooksy home alone, right? Jamie Noodles McLennan was on the panel with me one night, and he is he is a security
aficionado. Yeah, that's the term.
His house is impenetrable. Don't ever try to go there.
I've heard
Jamie, which is smart, by the way. I don't clown people for that.
Oh, I never do.
I rather do it that way than do it the other way, where you're completely negligent.
Which is probably me for most of my life. Wow. Too trustworthy, too negligent. Noodles has like bear spray in every room, and like a panic room, and a plan. Like his kids trained on where they're going to go when there's a home invasion.
There's a special room for the bear to go into.
There's a panic room for the bear.
For the bear, so he doesn't freak out.
But I've been very negligent, and so I finally got this alarm system. So the alarm system gets installed one day. The next morning at 5 a.m. Stoff, do you have the noise ready?
Yes, I do. I have.
Okay, so this is what wakes me at 5. Okay, so this
you woke up in a war zone.
Stoff has edited it together, but basically this is happening once every 45 seconds. Brooksy and I are lying in bed going, "What the hell?" So automatically in my mind, I think it's something with the alarm system. They've installed some sort of technology that's going cuckoo wire, right? And so I'm tired and I'm angry. I start crafting this text to the guy who put in the alarm system, a wonderful guy named Serge. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? This woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And just as I'm about to press send, I'm like, I better check. Like, I better look around the house and see what I can find.
So you were just in bed and you were going to make that determination off the noise? Like, did you get up to see what it was before trying?
I looked around. I tried to find where it was coming from, but it felt like it was in the ceiling. And I'm like, I know they were up in the attic, so they must have put some wire up there. Maybe there's a piece of technology. So anyway, after an hour it stops, and now I got to get up anyway. And so I don't press send yet because I'm like, well, maybe it's over. Maybe it was just a glitch. Next morning, 5:15. All right, so now I got the email in my draft folder, and I'm like, Serge, get one of your guys over here and fix this freaking problem. Press send. So now it keeps going. So now I'm up looking around. Finally, I go outside. It's a woodpecker.
Oh,
get out!
It's a woodpecker on my what do you call it? What do you call the thing that gathers the rain? I'm not good with the words.
Eaves trough?
A railing? Oh, yeah.
Eaves trough, yeah.
He seems to be drilling into the eaves trough. Okay.
God,
listen to this. Play the sound one more time. Yeah.
Wow.
So I chuck a tennis ball at him, and he flies off. This woodpecker lives. I know where he lives because I see him almost every day. He lives in a tree just outside my.
He knows where you live too.
Outside
buddy.
the compound.
Yeah. Wow.
And he's obviously penetrated my security system
very quickly
to get to the eavesdrop. So now this is a week running. First of all, I had to send the apology text to Serge. Yo, Serge, about that text. I'm really sorry. It was a woodpecker.
I thought you were, the whole story was heading to the point that it was Serge's phone that got left up in the attic.
Well, that would have been,
and they would have just kept vibrating while you're emailing them.
That would have been something
Hilarious.
Yeah. So, by the way, Serge's crew, like, they seem it was out of like a Bond movie because they're all Russian and they're real hardcore, but they're like very good at what they do. Like I feel like it was very cool. And now if you they put like this. It's not like your normal security system where somebody breaks the window or something. No. They put
their bear panic room is going to be out of this world.
It's all like AI stuff. So if there's like basically a dog fence around my house, and if somebody penetrates it, there's like this thing comes off and it says you are under surveillance. It's actually freaking me out every time I take Hugo for a walk, but it's a little much, honestly, for my neighborhood.
But what? Like, I'm sorry, like something comes out and greets the person, like an orb.
No, it's just there's I guess microphones and there's like a little siren goes on. It's not like crazy. You can adjust the volume and turn it down or whatever. It just so like if I'm doing yard work, I walk in and out of that thing every 10 seconds. It's like you are under surveillance.
Wow.
Anyway, so these Russian guys did a fantastic job. I'll highly recommend if anybody needs a security service. Serge.
So tell me something. This woodpecker, when it flew off, did it go?
Yeah. That was actually very good. That's a fine imitation.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do now. So now what I've done, there's no answer to this. It's not like the fox in heat. And my neighbor told me that there must be food in the eaves trough, but how the hell is there food in the eaves trough?
Well, like a bug or a worm falls in there and it can't get
my
to
eaves
it
trough
over
is full
it.
of worms. It's worm infested.
Yeah, probably. The Russians did it. They left them in there.
Russians left an infestation of worms. Maybe it's a trap if somebody breaks in like through the roof.
Yeah, the worm covered
poisoned by worms or strangled by them. But so now I have I have all these tennis balls and stuff sitting in the backyard, and every morning at 5:15, go downstairs, grab a tennis ball, fire it at the woodpecker. I have not hit him yet.
So he's doing this every morning?
Every day. It's 7 straight days. Well, we didn't do the pod for 2 weeks, right? As I would say, 7 to 8 straight days. And I don't know how
sound
to.
Again stuff?
Yeah.
I can't
Jimmy,
believe.
Why don't you put like one of those big owl like type of things? Like
what do you mean, like a scarecrow?
I don't know. Yeah, like that type of thing. Like people around here have owls, I guess, to scare animals and stuff like that. You put that there, and then it probably won't fly over.
I don't know, but I can't get on my roof. I've been on my roof before, but it's kind of a high roof, and I'm a little bit scared of heights, and I'm worried enough.
Well,
the times I've been up there,
up there.
falling off.
Give me your national treasure. You can't be on your roof. Sorry. You can't be.
Get Bell to send someone over.
Get Brooksy to do it. Sacrifice Brooksy. I can't get up there, but you can. No. Wow. So anyway, if any like our listeners were so helpful with the fox, I'm just if you have any advice whatsoever on how to get rid of the woodpecker who actually lives in the tree 20 yards away from there. So I don't know how I'm ever going to get rid of it.
Now, here's the thing, though, Jimmy. These things keep replacing themselves. So. What if the woodpecker's not the worst thing that could happen? Like maybe you should just keep the woodpecker. You can have a bison in there in your backyard next.
Bison. Well, I do. In the summertime, I like to get up early to go golfing. Anyway, I like to take my Hugie dog for a walk. So
also Chippy's going to be like your pet. He's the wood chip there, the woodpecker.
Chippy the woodpecker.
Chippy the woodpecker. He'll be your wake up call. Perfect. Everything's working.
It says here, I looked it up. Yeah. It says, what is the best deterrent for woodpeckers? It says you can use strips of aluminum foil, reflective tape, or pinwheels. Wind chimes.
Somebody told me that.
Yeah, but that again is climbing up there.
Yeah, I got to get up there. I got to get Serge back to get the woodpecker out of here.
Do you think Serge brought the woodpecker? This is all part of like an ongoing thing.
Wait a second. Does this go back to our whole birds not real thing? Is this even a woodpecker?
Yeah, this could be like a government drone. You don't know. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, it does sound very military, right?
Oh, so I actually thought when you brought that up and when you sent me the sound clip, I thought it was going to be construction, like outside your house when you're.
It sounds exactly like a drill.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear woodpeckers in wood, they do go like that, but I think it's a combination.
But it's way higher pitch almost too. It's like a like
it is, and it's something I think to do with the eaves trough and the fact that whatever the eaves trough is made of. But anyway, it's slowly killing me. I don't know if I look as exhausted on this little screen as I actually am.
No,
I go into work to do playoff games, and I'm like, this damn woodpecker, because I'm a very light sleeper. We've had this discussion before. Once a woodpecker wakes me, like I'll wake up. I can wake up and go pee and go back to sleep. But once I have to go outside and chuck a tennis ball, I'm not going back to bed.
Here we go. You said you know where this woodpecker lives. So in the middle of the night, you go there and start banging on his roof. Give him a taste of his own medicine. I'm telling you, that might be what you're going to throw him off at least.
That's a good point. Or should I
show what it's like?
I should chuck I need some sort of I don't want to harm the woodpecker, because Darren Drager, he's an all Western guy. When the fox was making those noises, I was talking about it with the guys on the panel, and he's like, "Yeah, you just throw a little rat poison out there." And I'm like, "I'm not going to kill the fox. It's probably about an $8,000 fine for that." I love nature. That's why I live up here in the woods of Aurora. But it's just infiltrating a little bit.
That's just cowardly. Killing it with rat poison.
Yeah.
At least look the fox in the face.
Dregs has some. Dregs has some history. I think his dad was a bit of his dad was a real old school Western rough guy, and I think when Dregs was, I'm going to say 10 or 12. I might be getting this wrong. His dad's like, "You got to come hunting with me," and Dregs didn't want to hunt, and they shot a deer or something, and he only got part of him. And he wounded him, so he had to finish him. And I think the thing's it's a horrible story. Half his face was hanging off or something like that, and Dregs was bawling, and his father made him shoot this deer, and so I thought Dregs would be kinder to animals after that, but he wants me to kill the fox.
It gave him the taste for blood.
He's Saskatchewan. He's a Western kid, right?
He's Saskatchewan. They're just a little, they're a little tougher out there than us wimpy Ontario people.
Some people have to kill for the food every day out there.
In Canada?
Yeah, but hold on. I wouldn't suggest doing it using rat poison.
No. I'm just talking about the hunting thing. I'm sure Dreg's father was just trying to prepare him just in case he had to do some hunting one day for real. Right?
The way the world's going, who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you think we'll ever get back? Do you think society will ever plummet into a kind of what's that? I'm not gonna include the zombies, but
an apocalypse, you mean?
A Walking Dead type,
where there's no technology has gone down,
something fails, and it's every man for himself. And do you think there's a possibility this could ever happen?
Entirely possible. Possible.
Yes. What about an alien invasion? And they would just be able to take all those things away from us. I've seen several shows that suggest that could happen.
This is where we're missing Puffy, because
he would say it's happening right now.
Maybe that's where he is.
They faked the moon landing.
Yeah, maybe that's where he is for all we know.
Our listeners who don't watch a ton of TSN, we don't have the rights to the playoffs. Hopefully again in a couple of years, but not right now. So we still come in and do pre and post game stuff, and for this Leafs series, which, by the way, as we're taping this now, it's Thursday afternoon. Game 6 goes tonight. So we could make predictions and either look genius or stupid. Should we do that?
Well, probably.
Sure. Okay. Remind me to do that in a second. Mm-hmm. But so it's kind of fun because we will do early Sports Center stuff, and then we'll watch the game together, the panel, and then we'll do a half an hour post game show basically as soon as the game's over. But Puffy a few weeks before the end of the season told me, he's like, "You know what? I've come to terms with the Leafs. I'm just happy. We have a great regular season team. I'm satisfied with it. I don't expect anything from the playoffs, but it's super fun to have a great team for 6 months. and then whatever happens, man. But I love this. You get into about game 4, he's like, F these guys, I hate these guys.
Yeah.
Him and O-Dog together should be a show. Like there should be a live camera watching them because it's the most entertaining thing in the world. They're the two most passionate, jump all over the place. And then, Tavares makes that play the other night. He's like, I love these guys. I kill for these guys.
It is a roller coaster.
Puffy's been on a ride.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure all Leaf fans have been on a ride. Look, it's been a ride for, besides the Oilers who kind of cruised, it was an adventure for Winnipeg. So Jets fans had a tough run. Vancouver, it's been a crazy run so far. Again, you're probably listening to this. It might be over. It might not be.
They might not hang on. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But the Leaf fans. All right. So let's predict what's going to happen to the Leafs.
Well, hold on. Why don't we do this while we update our hockey pool?
Okay. So what is going on with the hockey pool? Who's in? Lester was not happy with his performance so far, but I can't even remember who had who. Oh, as a matter of fact, I have it right here.
I do have actually our totals if you want.
Okay, here's a good graphic. You can just use this. Put a freeze frame of that.
Yeah. Terrific. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, go ahead.
Coco in the top one there. All right. So for Puffy's
Colorado,
team,
I think it says Colorado. I think it's supposed to say Colorado.
All right. So for Puffy's team, we did have Colorado, the Avalanche, and the Panthers. Those guys both moved on already, and they move on with only 1 point being attributed because they only have 1 loss each.
Okay.
That's how we decided to do.
What do you mean attributed? Like, so you lose a point or you gain?
Well, you just get a point. This is like, it's going to be like golf where you want a lower score.
Okay, I got you.
So he's got 2 points there. Then the Canucks are still in a series. So they currently have 2 losses. And then the Islanders lost. So that's another 4. So Puffy currently sits at 8.
Okay.
So Puffy's at 8. We should probably give him a couple extra just for missing this episode. I think it would only be fair.
What a two penalty for being absent for the
game. So there you go. 10. 10's perfect, and I'll tell you why. Because my team's next year, and we got the Stars, which are still tied 2-2, I believe. So I got 2 points there. Leafs down 3-2.
Big one's up 3-2 in that series. As of last
Dallas is up 3-2.
No, Dallas is sorry. Yes.
Dallas. Sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Dallas is 3-2.
Then the Leafs are obviously down 3-2. Big game tonight. Canes won their series with only 1 loss, and Caps lost theirs.
Right.
So that's a total of 10 points for me.
Okay.
Leicester has Vegas, 3 points there. Still ongoing though. Jets out 4. Tampa out 4, Bruins 2, and then again we'll see if that one's.
These are big. These next few nights are huge for Team Leicester.
That's Team Leicester's at 13 now.
Your future at 13. You feel like the Leafs, where if things go south, there are going to be changes made on Team Leicester. Well, look, right from the top all the way down.
Let me just say a couple things. I made my picks just trying to be, just trying to take that dark horse. You know what I mean? I knew that Vegas was going to be up against Dallas most likely, but I just thought, with Stone coming back, with Pietrangelo coming, coming back.
But why would you? You're not calling Vegas a dark horse. You're not giving yourself praise for taking some.
They're underdogs.
It doesn't matter. In the NHL playoffs this year, there was maybe 2 teams you could consider that didn't have you wouldn't give much of a chance to. There's no other dark horses.
Washington and the Islanders.
Islanders would have been the 2 dark horses. If
Nashville a little bit.
Even
LA a little bit.
LA is another one. LA is another one.
Look, I just think that at the end of the day, I thought Vegas, a lot of people didn't necessarily recognize Vegas as defending Stanley Cup champions because they kind of limped into the playoffs. They really did. But I just thought with Stone coming back, Hurdle, all this, that they do well. And listen, I looked good for a long time. They were up 2-0 going back to Vegas, and then all of a sudden, Dallas just figured them out really. So I expect it to be a sweep, unfortunately, a reverse sweep. I expect Dallas to finish them off tomorrow because I've seen the last 2 games, and there's no evidence that Vegas has figured out what to do. Now, let's move on to Winnipeg. I thought Winnipeg was a good choice. Listen, a very good team, and honestly, I saw something from Hellebuck today. Team. He has just said he said he's probably played the best he's ever played. He's playing great hockey, but you know what? Colorado, and I said this on the chat, Colorado just went, we're coming. That's it. You know, and they just took it to the next level, and I fully respect it. And actually, they're the team I think is going to win the cup.
To be fair, you got to give Puffy props for this because Puffy took the Avalanche first overall.
Yes, he did.
All the other teams.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And
He did. And he's.
But
he's
we're not giving him props because of his attendance problems.
well, of course.
Lester,
No.
you made valid explanations on all your picks, and you still have
It
Vegas
will
and
not.
Boston live, but I still feel like somebody's getting fired.
It will not save your GM.
No,
Lastly,
no.
Jimmy took the Oilers. Move on with 1 point.
Strong.
Rangers move on without costing you anything.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's a big one. You lose the Kings, 4 points.
Why did I pick the Oilers and the Kings? Was I forced
No,
into that
Hey,
selection?
you were actually trying to convince everyone to do that. Like,
Oh, just saying that you guaranteed
one.
guaranteed a team in the round.
Yeah. But if the series goes 7, then that's a troubling one.
Nashville's still up in the air.
Yeah, Nashville up in the air 3. So you've got 8 points as well. So it's you and Puffy tied right now. First round's not done yet, but 8 points each. 10 for me, and then 13 for Lester.
I really need Nashville to come back on Van to separate myself from Puffy a little bit, eh? Yeah. Puffy's going to have a good, like, if he has Colorado, Florida, and Van in that second round, that's
good.
that's
I think
impressive.
he's in good shape. I think Nashville's going to force Game 7. I do.
Okay. Are they going? So let's see. By the time people listen to this, so was that game? That game's tomorrow night, right?
I think so,
Only
yes,
one game
Friday.
tonight, I think the Leafs.
Yeah.
So you think Nashville will force Game 7, and what will happen in Game 7?
I still think Vancouver wins the series, but I think it's going 7.
Okay. So Vancouver wins in 7. Now, what about Boston and Toronto?
I think I want to say Boston's going to win tonight, and I think they will. But I will say this: if they don't, Toronto wins the series in 7.
I disagree.
That's
So
fine.
what do you
I
got?
would probably take the reversal of both of those. I would take Nashville in 7 and then Bruins in 7.
Nashville in 7, Bruins in 7.
If
So
it
and
goes
you're
7.
Lester's taking Canucks in 7 and Bruins in 6. You have to make a choice.
The Leafs
Okay,
beating the Bruins 3 in a row is a really I can't. I want it to happen more than anything. Don't get me wrong.
Look, I'll tell you right now. The reason I took the Bruins is I thought, okay, number one, they have a great record against Toronto. I didn't think they'd drop a game against Toronto, as far as I'm concerned. And I thought, again, the motivation from last year, coming up so short against Florida. I mean, after a historic season, I thought Boston's going to rock.
We're gonna see
saw
if
the
that
play the other
motivation's
night.
there now.
Well,
Tonight we'll see if that
what were they doing?
motivation's there.
I thought they looked terrible against Toronto. Not that Toronto didn't play well, and Wall was big, no doubt about that. But I just thought, Boston, you got to show me you want this. So I'm going to say Boston wins tonight, but I'm honestly not sure.
I will. Geez, I don't know, and I don't think anybody who watches the Leafs has any idea what to expect. But I'm with Lester. I think that Marchand's interview after Game 5, like they didn't show up for Game 5.
No.
You can rip the Leafs for Game 4, and Boston was horrible in Game 5. So I think they're gonna. It'll be their best game tonight, and they maybe find a way. So I'll go with Boston in 6. But you'll edit mine, right, Stoff? So if
Boston
I
in
like
8.
Toronto in 7. Stoff, I like Boston in 7. Just for me, insert the right thing because I have more the reputation.
Beep
more
your
of a
girlfriend's
concern.
last name.
Yeah, and Canuckles. Was Game 6 is in? No, I think that Nash. Yeah, I'm gonna go Canucks in 7.
Okay.
But that's a dicey one too. But yeah, Canucks in 7, I would say. So Boston in 6, Canucks in 7. Let's see who the geniuses is. Because Puffy is not here,
We'll give them
Puffy takes
Washington.
Leafs in 5 and Nashville in 4. And we'll see
What
how that
about Vegas and Dallas, guys?
Well, I guess we need to do that one too, eh?
Dallas.
Yeah, you got that one. You going with Dallas?
I'm going Dallas. I got Dallas and the Canes in the final, so I'm sticking to it. I think it's
Really?
looking pretty good. Yeah.
I'll go Dallas in 7.
Dallas at 7, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
No, listen. I think it ends tomorrow. As much as I want Vegas to win, just for my own personal, reputation, I just don't think they have it. I think Dallas has figured them out, and I've watched the last 2 games of Vegas. They ain't got it.
Yep, that's fair. So you're going Dallas in 6.
I'm going Dallas in 6. Yes.
Okay. I think just the champions go with the fight. Those are the last 3, right? So those are the only ones we
Yep.
can.
Those are the 3 series. You heard it here first.
Okay, it'll be. no one will actually remember or care, but we'll see.
Unless you listen.
Well, we will be drawing a winner, of course, as you said, after each round from our listeners, because we posted this online and asked our listeners to pick who they're going with. So
and remember what the grand prize winner wins.
So now that's the grand prize, but what about round one?
Round one? Okay.
Are they all just different photos of Brooksy? Or?
I guess something else. How about that sticky note you had there?
Let me look around. The official signed sticky note
Game-worn sticky
of the
note.
teams.
Oh,
yes.
Ooh, that is something, I will say. And it has Puffy's total at the bottom there.
This is, by the way, a very good indication of my writing. I've said before, we don't use a teleprompter or anything, so I just write notes on paper. And quite often I'll glance down to think about what I'm going to say and won't be able to read my own writing.
Yeah.
Dave Poulin used to get great kicks out of it because I would sometimes point at the sheet like, do you know what this says? And he would go, no, it's your writing. So did not have good penmanship ever in my life.
We can transition here to a little bit of listener mail.
Oh, let's do that. Look at you taking the reins of this podcast. Sure. I love it.
I'll tell you first, most people did pick Puffy and I, our teams.
Yeah, that's racist.
Lester was in third.
Against me and Lester.
And yeah, there was only a few trickling in for Jimmy, which was a little surprising.
That's crazy.
That's maybe because you picked teams that were facing off against each other. That might be why.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get vengeance against all you suckers. I feel betrayed, frankly. I thought I had loyal. What about Snake Bites Pete? You didn't come with me?
I did not write down individual ones
Schmidt
in front of me here, but I think
Arsenal had to stick with me. Arsenal's my most loyal guy.
Do you want me to? I will pull it up. But if Arsenal did not stick with you, what will happen? Like, what does that mean?
Well, nothing really. I won't be that.
While you're pulling that up, I'd just like to say sorry to everybody that jumped on my bandwagon. I'm very disappointed with myself.
You let a lot of people down, Lester, and that's why
it is true.
Somebody's going to pay.
Andrew Arsenal, I gotta go with at Stoffington Post for sure.
A two brute.
I just want to shout out these people that picked me. Pete in Japan, Elizabeth. Snake Bites Pete went with Lester. Let's go, he wrote.
Sorry.
David Carson riding with Team Stoff. Jeff Laughlin, Jimmy's picks.
All right, these are my
Nashville has
listeners.
been on a roll
Jeff
the last quarter
Laughlin
or more of the season.
is my guy.
That's true.
There you go,
Jeff. I'm gonna, no matter what happens, I'm gonna get a print and send you one of these Brooksy photos. That's for supporting me. Anybody else? Anybody else on Team Jimmy?
I gotta really scroll here. There's some team Mark Peters, Team Lester. Scott wants Cammers. I like this one. His name Kristofsky, but he's voting for Puffy.
So do you think people voted because of the teams or voted for their favorite podcast panelists? Because that would not
based on our looks, purely on our looks.
Bode well for me.
Superficial. It's how
Puffy is very popular.
Yeah. Very popular.
People are sick of my
I don't actually on
sick of my foxes. Sick of my
on Twitter. Only one person took you, Jimmy.
Jesus.
And it doesn't. I don't really see. Oh, sorry. I think on Instagram someone wrote that they picked you because their kid thought your name was funny or something like that. So
Jimmy,
we're
gonna shock the world.
Hey, listen, you got a good chance. It could very easily be Edmonton and the Rangers in the final.
Edmonton Rangers final.
Now I do have a tweet here from John Pickerton.
Okay.
Who chimes in with Puffy's picks are the picks I pick when I want to pick winners. Boom. And then in parentheses, he wrote, accidentally hit myself in the groin doing the boom. Man down, man down. So I really appreciate John Pickerton because he lives this podcast.
Right. Absolutely.
Poor man hit himself in the groin. And for that, I will read his other tweet because this was interesting. There's been talks, different leagues wanting to expand the playoffs. So John wrote in, if they really want to expand the playoffs, maybe they should look at after 6 games in a series. If you're tied, you have to win by 2 games.
Oh, God.
That is. Could you imagine a series going like a month because no one can win 2 in a row?
That's ridiculous.
Do you remember? I think it was Wimbledon maybe 5-10 years ago, and they played like
Isner, and it was two and a half days almost. Yeah,
wasn't it like 80 to.
I think it was in the 70s, but it was
like
it was
lunacy, right?
No. There's a longer one. There's definitely one that's.
There's long. That wasn't the longest. There's ones that I believe went into 100, but I think that can only happen at Wimbledon and one of the other ones. I know
Ping pong when you're playing with your buddy in the basement.
No, I'm saying not all tennis majors allow that.
I know.
Most tennis majors will have a tiebreaker even in the fifth. So.
Yeah.
Eisner and Mahat.
Mahat. Forgot about
Yes.
Mahat.
Anything else on listener mail?
Oh, we got plenty listener mail, buddy.
Good Lord.
Pete in Japan writes in, possible new segment, listener mail updates. So we'll just cram it into listener mail for now. So Pete in Japan, you want to do the song quick, Jimmy?
Pete in Japan tonight. Pete in Japan. All right.
Record scratch because I've moved back to Mississauga last week for my daughter's hockey development and my son's enrollment in university this year.
Pete in Mississauga. Wait, Mississauga? I need his new song.
Pete in the Sog.
Pete in the Sog. Tonight, I'm Pete in the Sog. All right.
Another record
rings
scratch.
every single day.
I will still correspond as Peter in Japan. However, please understand I am in Mississauga.
So how was this just brand new? Like, was he in Japan for most of the time?
Yes, he just wrote, I've just moved back to Mississauga last week
but he's keeping the handle
for his daughter's hockey development. So that's interesting. She could be future PWHL. Yeah.
I'm not about to say.
Like it.
All right. Well, welcome home, Pete. Good to have you back, buddy.
I should have read this one when you were promising the prizes for our winners of the pool. Jimmy, you remember this name, Troy Forst? At one point, you
I called him Frost, didn't I?
Toy Force.
Toy Force.
And then Toy Frost, I believe.
Toy Force, yes.
He commented under one of our recent videos saying, still waiting for my sweater. So I believe you may owe Troy a sweater.
We promised him something.
I don't know. We'd have to go back and look, but I remember
Do you
that.
think it was just like the?
It was the BetSafe sweaters.
They
were nice. Those BetSafe, those sweaters were nice.
Do you have any?
I probably still have a couple. I definitely have a lot more T-shirts. I think so if Troy gives us his address, I'm sure we'll ship it out there.
We don't have a great track record with.
We don't. So please message us back, Troy. DM me either on Instagram or on the Twitter. And
anybody else who's waiting for a prize, get to
at this point. You could just say you won. You could just say you won, and we'll believe you. You know how. It is.
Well, we don't have a stats. We need a stats person.
Well, it's Puffy. He's off today. Puffy. Damn it. Alex E. Page. No, so this is regarding the Masters episode, and he wrote in, anyone else hear Jimmy say that he was in the room underneath Puffy? And I didn't assume he meant a different room. Since there was no video for the pod, people getting their own visuals there. So choose your words more carefully. What can you
know?
Everybody
have a couple of beers. Puffy.
Yeah, champagne.
Puffy gets alluring on the road.
I believe that. David writes in, best opening riff on YouTube was Silence with you guys bobbing your head. And the reason for that is I basically got a strike from YouTube for using AC/DC's Back in Black.
Yeah.
And one of the options was to either cut it completely or just to mute the song. So I muted the song for the video. So on YouTube, it's just the four of us going like this.
So are there people watching this stuff? Or in the words of Graham Dillette, are people actually watching?
Yeah.
Or is that some sort of AI program that recognizes a song and like?
That's 100% AI.
Okay.
That's just they're looking for the patterns that are similar to the actual song in the audio, and
you can't trick AI, babe.
Well, tough. The Richardson wrote in, and this was regarding the noise in your backyard. We do know it's a fox now, but the Richardson writes in, I think the animal noise is a possum. I've heard those things make terrifying noises.
Boy, you feel stupid now, don't you, Richardson? It's like we're going to feel after these hockey picks go south.
For sure.
Well, maybe it was a possum. Maybe they just sounds exactly like a fox. Who knows?
Maisie Mew writes in, Sub-Zeros never need to be replaced. So anyone telling you need a new one, they are lying. Ooh. My dad has had a Sub-Zero fridge since the early 90s. So that's regarding your Sub-Zero fridge talk.
Interesting.
When we learned that fridges can indeed cost more than automobiles.
Wow. Thank you for that information.
Have you anything about that yet, Jimmy? Have you started
no.
that yet?
We're going through some things here, okay?
Understood the Sub-Zero. Oh boy.
No, I
thought you were gonna say you got talked into a second Sub-Zero.
No, we're just going through. We got a lot of things on the go. I'm just trying to get some prices. I got to figure out where we're going. The budget's gone a little bit, kooky, and it's a delicate time because I wanted to mention this as well on the way out. A big week this week. Doesn't matter what day is today, Thursday. So
Yes.
we're celebrating tomorrow, but technically it was yesterday, May 1st. Brooksy and my 25th anniversary.
Oh,
wow.
Silver
Look at that.
Congratulations.
So 25 years of Brooksy.
I wanted to play something to celebrate, but the only thing I loaded up here is the Back in Black. So
So we'll just sit
pure silence for
We'll just
YouTube.
sit silently. So
here I can play this. Hold on.
that's beautiful.
That's our new celebration.
That is the music we hear every morning when we're lying in bed together. So
Wonderful.
Going to the prom. We're going to take thanks. I want to thank Jay Onright, my friend, who Jay Onright is like, he knows because he's a downtown guy. I'm not a downtown guy.
Yes.
And so Jay likes to go out for dinner. So he knows Jay's an affable guy. Everybody loves Jay. And so he knows all the restaurant people.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I want to go out for dinner, I just text Jay, and Jay hooks me up and gets me into places that, that's frank, Jimmy can't get into. So we're going to this place called Prime Seafood Palace, which is, do you guys watch The Bear?
Yes,
No,
I do.
So I'm gonna have people yelling at their devices again because I'm gonna not remember his name. But Lester in The Bear, the sort of large guy with the mustache, kind of the funny guy.
Yeah.
He's like one of the staff members.
Yeah. Is he the dessert guy you're thinking of?
No, not the dessert guy. He's white male, mustache, whatever, big heavy guy, kind of a comedy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
So
he's the mechanic. He does the fridge.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
He is actually a very famous chef.
Yes.
And the reason The Bear was made was I think it was his idea.
Really?
And so I think he's a Canadian guy, and he has some very famous restaurants and very good restaurants. And one of them is called Prime Seafood Palace, where I'm taking Brooksy. We went there once before. It was divine. And so we're going back.
is it Maddie Matheson?
Maddie Matheson is it. Thank you very much. I was going to butcher it if I tried to guess myself. Maddie Matheson, incredible chef, Prime Seafood Palace. It's probably going to cost me a little bit, but it's going to be good.
Yeah, 25 years. You can spend a little money.
25 years, a lot. What?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, 25 years.
Saying, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I might have had to go little Yorkdale the other day. Little, I got a surprise little bag.
Nice.
Little bag. Anyway, I'm in the good books.
Very nice.
I'm in the good books.
Hope you can stay there. Sean Morrison writes in, how was the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson not talked about by Puffy? What a joke this is, where society has fallen, that this will become one of the biggest sporting events. I hope Tyson ends Paul.
I think we all want that, don't we?
Yeah, I think most people do, at least.
Look, I will give Jake Paul credit. When this whole thing started, I thought it was like a scam. He's actually obviously a talented athlete. Some of the fights he's had, and he,
But has he fought anyone that's of a caliber in that sport right now?
Probably not.
No. So tough to say still, but I don't know if we're all rooting for him to fail, because he does definitely have a lot of younger fans.
Yeah.
And I'm certain some of those people are pulling for him, and they want him to succeed.
Hey, I got to go, guys, because I got to get to work. And if I miss the hits for this podcast, I'll be fired. Do you want me to check out, and then you do some more of this, or
I have three more. I have three more comments.
Three more quick ones, and then we'll say goodbye.
Josh Lemers wrote, I was crying at the end of that. That was on season 11, episode 11. So I don't know if they were joys of sorrow or joy, but you're welcome, Josh. Brian Hayden writes in, I really think you guys need to do a live pod at some local establishment, maybe the VI stuff. So he's referring to our Bradford's very own Village Inn, which is a pub downtown Bradford.
I would like to do that at some point.
This.
I would like to. I'm a little terrified. Maybe it's the insecurity in me that we'd have 4 people there, because our listeners are spread out throughout the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Strategically too, we don't want too many condensed in one area.
My very first book, I did a book tour, and it was a Monday night. Most of the places did pretty well, but Vancouver on a Monday night, really odd time, not publicized well. There was about 4 people very excited waiting for me when I arrived. I signed those 4 books. They were gone. And then there was nobody for an hour. And I just sat there at this little table going, and people would walk by and they'd kind of look at the book, and the odd person would go, hey, yeah. And then they'd go off and buy the book they wanted to buy. So it was I have scars from that moment.
Did they get you to sign the other book they bought?
It's your fault.
They did not get me to sign the other book.
The other book didn't get signed.
But I got to stop talking because I really got to go. But I think we'll ponder this. We're gonna ponder this. I think I told you guys I'm gonna write beauties too. I finally decided, and so maybe when I do, maybe when Beauties 2 comes out, I can sort of combine podcast tour and book tour, and we can do a few stops or something.
Ooh,
that'd be good. That's a good idea.
I like that.
Okay.
Yep. Yuri Tepianian just has a suggestion for what you're watching. Baby Reindeer on Netflix. I've actually watched this. It's interesting. The endings, it gets weird. It reminds me of that show Beef a lot in the way it kind of unfolds. But maybe if you guys want, watch it and we'll talk about it next episode. And I'll just finish off with this. Snack Bites Pete writes in, I got a mysterious text today and sent in this picture. So he got a text from a number he does not know that writes hello, and then follows up. I guess Pete didn't reply, so he follows up with hello again, and to which Pete simply replied, Lester? Question mark.
Pete,
I have other songs.
I called you a traitorous bastard earlier in the podcast, but you redeemed yourself with that.
That's very fun.
He will also now telemarketers have his number for the rest of his life.
The ones you get, these ones, we really got to go. I get these ones now. Hello, I'm sorry to bother you for a few minutes. I'm Grain from Linkus Group. Are you interested in freelancing? I got a text. What does that mean?
Why can't I get that?
Who is Linkus
I'm interested
Group?
in freelancing.
I gotta say, talk to Stoff. Here's his number. Thanks for listening, everybody. Sorry we missed Puffy today. We'll try to get him back, and we'll see you.
We'll try
next week on the Rubber Boots podcast.
Hey, how are you? I got a question that I really want to ask you. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair?
Do you like the dunk tank?
At the fair.
The dunk tank, the dunk tank.
At the fair. Are you wearing your your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up. Please. Somebody. Hey? Anyone?